So there was a time when I was in elementary school and middle school that I was not a good kid. I wasn't a good student. I wasn't respectful to teachers. I wasn't really respectful to anybody. I don't know if it was a call for attention from my grandparents, from my mother, the lack of being raised without a father. I don't know. Anybody can really say what they want to about it. But in first grade, I had a teacher who was very corporal, very strict. I used to write left handed, and of course, back in the late 80s, early 90s, you fit a formula. If you did not, then they would do what they could and they could get by with, you know, how they wanted to teach you. And I would write left handed, and she would have me with my left hand behind my back and make me write with my right hand. And if she ever caught me with my left hand writing, she would take a wooden ruler that had the little copper strip down the side and she would hit me. And to this day, I have scars on my knuckles on my left hand that were there. There was a big ordeal about possibly taking me away from my mother because she was a single mother, and this lady was very um, old school. Did not agree with my mom being a single mom raising a boy, that there needed to be a father in the house. That didn't pan out or whatnot, but in second grade, I was always being sent to the office for sneezing in class, for coughing in class. I was a little boy, so, you know, farting in class, I would be sent to the office. And one day in second grade, I legitimately deserved to be sent to the office, but I was kind of tired of it. And a very nice teacher, if I remember her correctly, reached into her desk to get a slip to write up to have me sent to the principal. And it was like my third time at the beginning of the year to be sent to the principal's office. And when she reached in her desk, I slammed the desk drawer shut, and it broke two or three of her fingers. And so I was actually kicked out of that elementary school. I had to go to another elementary school that had a program called Behavior Disorder, so BD for short, which was really kind of detrimental to my social skills, maybe. But I was in a class of four or five other kids. We had study carrels, which are desks with walls on them. And we had two teachers in there, one who would teach the class and one who was kind of a security guard. Um, I actually became really close with the teacher that I had in there because he would tell my parents, or he would tell my mother and my grandparents that I had no reason being in there. Um, well, then I did well in there the last half of second grade, third grade, and then fourth grade. They streamlined me into a regular class with other students. And I had a teacher in there to this day, fought for me. He was a very good teacher, and he fought for me to be out of there. I wasn't in my district for elementary school, so he fought for me to be moved back into my own school. Um, and eventually in fifth grade, I was moved back to the elementary school that I was supposed to go to, that was in line with my mother's house. So I was put back into that school, and uh, my behavior did not really improve. It improved enough for me to be in a normal school, in a normal class, but it did not improve for, you know, what it should have. So uh, I made it through that school, and then when I went to middle school, um, sixth grade was fine. I was picked on a little bit, but it really wasn't all that bad. I kind of kept to myself because it was a new school, new people. And in seventh grade, I had made friends. I had, you know, kept quiet or whatnot, but I had made a couple friends, and then decided there was a teacher that was very known for her strictness, and I unfortunately got her as a teacher. She was a social studies teacher, and she was older. And the second, my grandfather over that summer had constipation problems. So I obtained some chocolate laxatives and went to school that second day of school in seventh grade, and decided I'm going to put that in my teacher's drink. And I did it at the beginning of the day, and it had dissolved. Well, long story short, she got the business end of what had happened. Nobody knew what had happened. Everything was perfectly fine. And me, like the idiot that I am, decided I'm going to tell another kid. Well, I decided not to because he had made me mad. So I actually said at lunchtime, "Hey, I got some chocolate. You want some chocolate?" So I gave this kid some of the chocolate bars. Well, he ended up getting the business day, and this is all on the same day. He ended up getting the business end of that chocolate too. Well, when you're in seventh grade, it kind of goes around what made this boy have a bad time. Well, you know, I got some chocolate from Phil. Well, that turns out that they came to me and asked me what was going on with the teacher, and I told her, and so I was put into in school suspension for the remainder of the year until after. Luckily, they did not press charges for assault with a what would be uh, medication, and so I was put into in school suspension until the end of the semester. So Christmas time, after Christmas, I was able to come back. And the day I was out, I was in drama class, and I was actually sitting there not doing anything. And this is where I try to tell my son, guilty by association and do not make a name for yourself, because I was in drama class in the theater. There were 15 to 20 of us in the class, and I went to go throw a piece of paper in the trash can, which was probably about 25-30 feet away from me. And when I went to go throw this piece of paper away, it was wadded up into a little ball. When I went to go throw this piece of paper away, another kid had thrown a tic tac, and it bounced off the drama teacher's hair, and automatically said it was me. She didn't ask any questions. She didn't ask the other students. Because I had, done what I had done. Did not ask any questions. Immediately said it was me. Took me to the office. They called my mom. They called my grandparents. There was talks of legal action because I assaulted her with a weapon. At that point, one of the kids did say they threw a tic tac. It didn't matter. There was nothing. It was all talked down. I was suspended out of school for, I believe, five days, and then when I came back, I was put back into in school suspension for the remainder of the year. So seventh grade, I was in school suspension, or not in school suspension, for a total of, I think, 5 days, 4 days. But then I learned a lesson that travels with you, because in eighth grade, the next year, I kept a straight line, just because I knew that anything I did was going to be watched like a hawk, and they were going to have a magnifying glass on me. So anything that happened, I distanced myself away from and did not do anything like that ever again.